Email marketing is big business. Every day, corporations bomb our inboxes with pitches, promotions, and ads. And it's no wonder they're keen on this form of marketing, because studies have shown that email marketing is one of the most effective ways to reach customers. For us, donors. Now, in a recent YouTube video we did with Wendy Boham Carter of Donation World, we did on email marketing, she shared that 40% of donors prefer to hear from a nonprofit via email, and 21% say they donated because of an email that inspired them. Now, while corporations have the resources to hire professional email marketers, nonprofits often lack the same level of funding. So as a result, many nonprofits rely on volunteers or staff members with limited experience to handle their email marketing. Imagine the possibilities if nonprofits could utilize email like the pros. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the anatomy of a clickable fundraising email that will help you stand out from the competition and increase donations. So let's get to it. So I'm going to use a couple of examples, and I'm using MailChimp and a report to supporters from our own family fund and from a client as an example. So let's start at the top, and that's the from name. And the from name in an email is the sender's name. And recent stats suggest that 43% of recipients click the spam button based on the name or the email address. So do's and don'ts: do use your charity name, or use a personal name but only the full name if it's recognizable, or use the title of your series or your newsletter name. But don't use a person's name unless they're not well known, and do not use do not reply. The from address. Now, the from address is the email address used by the sender to send the email. So do make sure it matches your from name, and don't use a no reply address or use an email service provider like Gmail. So a great example would be newsletter@yourcharityname.com. Now, we personally have a problem with this because our foundation doesn't have an email, but our subscribers do know me, so I used my email address. Next is subject line, and subject lines are undoubtedly the most critical component of your emails. And statistics say that 35% of email recipients open the email based on the subject line. So do keep it short, but add value like the what's in it for them, or ask a question, a call to action, a teaser, or a deadline. But don't use spammy words like out now, don't miss out, and don't be boring and not grab attention. Now, we went with 2023 donation report, you provided a home for 6 months, because we thought that was catchy. Now, the pre-header is the text that follows the email subject, and sometimes it's shaded gray and it previews the content of your email. So do differentiate it from your subject line and summarize the email content. You can also incorporate a call to action or a teaser or incentive, or build some sort of curiosity. But don't make it more than 100 characters, and don't use jargon or get overly complicated. The email header always precedes the email body, which is the first thing recipients see. So we need to make sure it makes a good impression, make it eye-catching, and it sets the whole tone for the email. So do differentiate your header and your footer, and include your logo and company name, and keep it consistent with your brand. You also want to include alt text for those who don't download images. And don't keep changing it with every edition. Make it too big or overdo it. Now, the navigation bar. Not every email needs a navigation bar, but they are becoming increasingly popular. Email navigation bars are similar to navigation bars that you find in a website, and the aim is to guide the reader to a story or a website link that may interest them. So do keep it simple, make sure that it is mobile friendly, and don't forget to test the links. I've done that one. Now, again, we didn't need one, but here's from our client, and you can see you can easily jump from one section to the next that most interests you. The email body is entirely the central part of your email messages. It contains the text, the images, and other attachments. So do have a clear goal for what you want to communicate. Write in second person, use actionable language, and be personal and conversational. Again, don't use jargon or industry buzzwords. Don't use more words than you need, and don't forget about the skimmer. So use lots of white space, bullet points, and bolded text. Now, images, video, and attachments. According to HubSpot, adding video to email increases click-through rates by an average of 300%. So do use the alt text again. Ensure that images and video cover photos look good without being too large, and support video and images with text. text. Link videos rather than embed them. Many email providers don't support embedded videos, so we recommend creating a thumbnail and link to an external URL for your video. And when possible, use images of real people. And don't use large images that slow your load speed, and do not use a background image when you are designing an email. I also recommend do not go off brand. Now, I included a video in the email that we're sending out, and I'll maybe link that in the description. It's really personal. We'll see. Now, the call to action. A good fundraising email should have two things: a great story and a great call to action. Recipients may be interested in your cause, but without a specific request for assistance, they are unlikely to take action. A call to action can also ask readers to visit your website for more information, register for events, download your materials, watch your video, or follow you on social media. So use contrasting colors for your call to action, and use approachable action verbs like care, try, find, and create some urgencies. Use action cues like arrows too. Now, don't put it somewhere that it stands out or that it doesn't stand out, and don't make it too small. Now, the footer, the email footer, is the part at the bottom of the email, and it usually contains company's mailing address, email, contact information, site link, phone numbers, and the unsubscribe link. So make sure to add your social media buttons and your website link, and add a view in browser link. But don't forget to add your opt-out, and don't forget to add the safe lists request and ask readers to add you to their address book to stay out of their spam folders. Here's a quick bonus. The best time to send emails according to Opt-in Monster are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. or 1 p.m. And the worst times are Fridays and Sundays. So I'm going to try to do more videos on email fundraising because it's one of the best ways to attract and retain individual donors. So make sure to subscribe. And I'm also going to link that video with Wendy down in the description, and it'll pop up here. And see you next time.